how much does the room affect the sound? How much, right? Because we always talk about it. We always talk about like, it makes a huge difference. But how much does it really, really make a difference in the real world? And what do you guys think?
I think it's massive. I think you can take the best speakers in the world, you can take the best amplifiers, you can have just this killer setup, high end setup. If you put it in a room that has horrible acoustics, it's not going to sound good.
Hey,
You know?
you know what you know where they do that all the time? Trade
Those?
shows.
Oh,
Trade shows, hotel rooms, absolute junk. Except for, people like our man Joe Mariano. You know what he was doing? He was actually conducting tests
the measurements.
on where you should place the sub. They did a subwoofer crawl, like they did
With
everything right.
with $129 a pair of speakers. That was
And he was
that's what was
slanging
funny.
them. That place was booked. Like my wife had to like come and just write out to lunch on both of our doors, and she's like, "Okay, let's go to lunch," like at 3 p.m. because it was nonstop. People were just in there. It's crazy.
Glad we flew. What's the name from New York to help out with the room, so we could go to the
totally.
bathroom.
What was his name? He was a moderator, right? On the
yeah, he goes by
Reddit?
Polypeptide.
All right.
Yeah.
Polypeptide.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
It's an
you've
interesting.
probably seen him on Reddit.
Pretty funny.
So yeah, how much does the room affect the sound? And the reason I asked this is because I was over here the other night, and the first thing I did before I moved anything in, I set up some speakers, set up this Yamaha and the Larsons over here. I also set a projector, but that's not as cool as setting up just the speakers first, because I wanted to have some music while I was
Right.
moving stuff in.
Yeah.
And I know what these speakers sound like in my old place, right? In various places. I heard them here. I'm like, those sound like completely different speakers. And especially because there was nothing in here.
Right.
And it was so echoey. I mean, it's still pretty echoey right now.
And you've got hardwood
now-
floors. You've got hard.
Yeah, a lot of hard
floors,
Yeah.
no couch, no nothing. Oh, man. It sounded
It was rough.
Not
Yeah.
nice. It was rough. The bass was
your,
rough.
Your Beats pill was better, right?
It was rough. And so I guess that made me realize like how much it can actually affect the sound, because how many other people may have a room that is as reflective as this one, and they don't know that they should put down a thick rug. It'll make a huge difference.
Do like a clap for us. Let's see if we can hear some
Oh
reverb,
well,
right?
you're not going to hear anything because I have this crisp on.
Okay.
You won't even hear my clap. will you?
We didn't hear the clap.
Yeah, see.
See,
It just
Joey's
filters that
messing
out.
with the audio over there. You see
Here,
that?
I'll
wouldn't trust
change it
him.
here.
I wouldn't trust him.
Rose here. All right.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Still kind of hard to hear.
Seems a little lively, but yeah, it's a little hard to hear.
Yeah. Camera
Dude.
audio.
What is this crisp thing? I got to learn about
Crisp
that.
is like.
Oh
when
yeah,
the-
this is what he's doing to like silence everything in the
Here.
room.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like anything that's outside of this little space right here, man. It's
Yeah,
like
I've
doesn't
done it.
pick up.
Straight beam.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
It's pretty cool.
and it's all software, free software, Joe.
Yeah, you can. I don't know.
And there's
I don't
probably a pro version.
know.
So
Anyway, I'll just have Chana pay for it.
That makes sense.
What?
He's a
Well,
big-
yes,
yeah.
I probably do
Hook
pay
him up.
for it because I pay $10 a month to be a patron.
Thank you,
Chana
Chana.
does. Chana doesn't even
Take
know
it out
if
of
he
there.
pays for it on it. You probably have an account, Chana, and you probably have a subscription, and you're like, crap, I've never even used it.
He doesn't use it.
No,
I got
actually,
three on the
I
shelf.
purposefully got it because I missed the actual link in our
funny.
private chat here. I was like, "Where's?" And nobody was answering my questions. I'm like, "Oh, I know where there's a link." So I became a patron to get the link, and
That's
I just let
hilarious.
it stay there because
Nice.
why not?
So to answer the question, makes a huge difference, and it's one thing to say it, and another thing to actually hear it for yourself. But oh man, yeah, huge difference. Can't wait to try DSP in this spot to see how that affects things, because it's kind of like doing it all over again, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
See if I
But it's
can make it
riding a
sound
bike,
decent.
man. Once you do it once, you'll never forget.
So here's another thing that's kind of interesting though. Very echoey, right? But I wanted to know how long it would take before people, like, because we had my mom come over, my sister, and wanted to know how long it would take for everybody to get used to it, right? And after a while, you just start to ignore the echo. Kind of interesting. Very interesting, and we
It's
know
it,
that that's supposed to happen, but it's crazy how our brain works. Like, just
you
filter it
know,
out.
it's the same thing with like, you know, people like often say like, oh, you know, after I burned in the speakers or like, you know, they played them, they sound better. Well,
Yeah.
Right.
is it the speakers actually sounding better, or is it just
It's your
your
head.
ears getting used
Yeah.
to the speakers?
Right.
The age old question: which came first, the speaker or the egg? You know,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. I agree.
Sorry.
Oh
I'd say
man.
if the speakers sound bad and then you got used to them sounding bad, then you probably just don't want to keep the speakers.
Yeah.
You know,
Or
You
just
get rid of
replace
them.
your ears. Something
That might be
like
cheaper with some speakers. It might be cheaper.
Yeah.
Join
I
us.
do agree, Joe.
Mhm. Yeah.
I do agree. The room has a lot to do with it. I got a crap room, and my speakers are placed. So one of them is in a good place. It's not up against the wall. There's a banister, and then there's like the going down the stairs, a stairwell. So free, like it's technically it's in the room because of that behind it. But the other one, boom, smack right up against this like big floor to ceiling window. Right next to it is another window. So having speakers with ports, rear ports, is just slamming right into to that window. So with these new focals, now they got front firing ports. Now I have a better it actually sounds better in the room because
Yeah.
it doesn't have all that extra stuff. Because you know, I have the freedom to put that speaker close to the wall or the window or whatever. So yeah,
Right.
room definitely has a whole lot to say about your sound.